What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so the Milwaukee Bucks keep on rolling. They win tonight against the Brooklyn Nets by the final count of 118-104. They improved to 44-17 on the year. Milwaukee now has the best record in the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo coming back from the wrist injury as well as I think it was a knee injury. Giannis has amazing recuperative powers. And tonight, Giannis Antetokounmpo goes for 33 points along with 15 rebounds and 4 assists. He went 15 of 27 from the floor and 1 of 2 from beyond the arc. Chris Middleton, in 23 minutes, had 18 points on 7 of 13 shooting, 3 of 7 from three-point range, going on 4 rebounds and 6 assists. Brook Lopez, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 6 of 13 shooting. Javon Carter, 11 points on 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 4 on fire from three-point range. And Drew Holiday, 14 points and 8 assists, 7 of 12 from the floor for the Brooklyn Nets. The high man was Mikal Bridges, 31 points on 11 of 19 shooting from the floor, 3 of 7 from three-point range. Cam Thomas, who had been having some big games, only 2 points, 0 of 7 from the floor. Spencer Dinwiddie, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 9 of 17 from the floor, including 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. And the Bucks dominated rebounding 55-38. And at the end of the day, the Bucks have now won 15 games in a row. 15 games in a row. And, people still don't respect the Bucks. People talking about the Bucks ain't beating nobody. Well, look. What is that saying about the competition in the NBA? If a team can win 15 games in a row and they ain't, quote, beating anybody. I can see if you say a 2-game win streak. Excuse me. Or even a 4-game win streak. But how the hell do you win 15 games in a row and, quote, you ain't beating nobody? That must mean the NBA is really soft. That's what you're saying. The NBA full of a bunch of sorry-ass teams. And I saw somebody say something earlier. Look, people talking about how the Bucks nearly lost to Boston, even though they're playing the reserves. Number one, Boston is a very deep team. All right, Boston's a very deep team, and many of the guys that are coming off the bench for Boston were once starters or could be starters on other people's teams. So let's not act like the Bucks were losing to a team full of guys like, I know I'm dating myself saying this, but they ain't like the Bucks were losing to a team full of Judd Bushlers and Steve Kerrs and goddamn Matthew Dellavedovas and shit like that. And also, a lot of times when you play a team, you game plan for certain players. You're not used to game planning against the guys coming off the bench. So sometimes that can hurt you if you're going up against players that you're not used to playing against. You don't know how to quite game plan against them. And I'm not taking away from Boston. They're a deep team, but it's a reason why the Bucks have the best record in the NBA. Now, Boston is formidable, and Boston could beat the Bucks in the series. But I don't like when people are always trying to take away from the Bucks. It's not our fault that the Nets had injuries in 2021. It's not our fault. But I don't see Brooklyn Nets fans crying the blues when they beat Boston in the first round, and Boston had injuries to a lot of their players. Do they forget that when they beat the Celtics in the first round in 2021, that they had injuries to 2 of their players? I think it was Jaylen Brown, and at the time he was playing well. Old boy, he's played for the Hornets. Kemba Walker. Not saying they would have won the series, but it could have been more competitive. And anyway, Brooklyn had a shot last year, right? Played Boston again, got swept. What was the excuse last year? So, shout out to the Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. 15 games in a row.